We're here with Karl Seidel. He's the marketing director of Cablevey Conveyors. Hi, Karl. How are you doing?
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Tell me about Cablevey.
Well, the basic thing that, and the reason we're standing here now, is to basically show you this. And the reason this is important is because nobody else can really claim to do this. Nobody else comes to a show, nobody else does anything along these lines where you're showing whole bean product, which is the most expensive byproduct of the processes of coffee roasting, being conveyed like this all day long, every day. And the reason that we can do this, and the reason we're in business, and the reason that we are able to serve the coffee industry well, is because of this.
And this is?
This is coffee being conveyed without being broken.
And how is it doing that?
Well, basically we're using a combination of cables, disc, and a tensioning device. And it's being, the material is being conveyed through a tube. So what the tube does is it encloses or encases whatever is being conveyed, in this case obviously coffee. The importance of this to anybody who has to move any kind of material is that you can effectively improve your bottom line by having product that is unbroken, deliverable to your customer through your packaging process. And the only way that you can really do that effectively is by using equipment that treats your product with respect. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do.
And how long have you been doing it?
Well, I've been working with Cablevey since 2005. I've been on site in Hilly, Iowa since 2008.
And you're in Iowa because that's the center of the universe for grain.
It is Middle Earth.
Yes. And this technology is also useful in so many other applications. That's why you're able to do so much with it.
Right. We didn't originally come to the coffee industry. We originally fed livestock. And essentially part of the learning that we had to do, what we had to figure out is, farms are consolidating. There are less farmers for us to sell our product to. So we have to figure out, well, where can we sell our equipment? Mm-hmm. And one of the things we found out along the way is that we can convey coffee without breaking it. So it's not uncommon for people to report back to us, unsolicited, that their breakage rates decreased dramatically immediately upon using our equipment.
Are there other elements that make you unique from the other conveyors that are here in the industry?
I'd say there are a variety of things. The basic thing, and this is what I don't really want to get too far afield from, is gentle conveying. Mm-hmm. And gentle conveying with really low breakage rates. I can talk to you about how we compare to other manufacturers, but I don't really know how useful that is because anybody can come and they can look at the different manufacturers and see what they provide. And at the end of the day, more often than not, they buy Cablevey.
Well, I see Cablevey systems in many roasters.
Right.
But it's not just for the giant roasters.
Well, it's not just for giant roasters, you're right. But there do have to be certain efficiencies in place. We've all been to that small roaster, that pulls out the ladder, fills up the bucket, puts the bucket on the shoulder, climbs up the ladder and dumps it into the roaster or dumps it into the packaging machine, mm-hmm. Or is using, a vacuum and not getting the result that they expected. So for us, essentially what we're trying to deliver is a consistent result.
Without having somebody fall off a ladder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this thing pretty much economically pays for itself with reduced labor costs, reduced hazards, and reduced breakage.
Yes. Well said.
Thank you. Anything else you'd like to share with us before we take a good look at the machine?
I would encourage anybody who is considering moving coffee to just come take a look and see what we can do for them. Because essentially what we're talking about here is proven, and we'd like people to see it for themselves.
Didn't you tell me at one time that you also moved like chips and things like that?
Cereal.
Cereal?
Yeah.
And the reason you do that is because it's very fragile, and this is able to move it cleanly.
Yes.
I think that's very impressive. If you can't
Yeah.
crush, I mean, if you're not crushing cornflakes,
Right.
then
We've had similar success in almonds, pistachios, and pecans.
very good. Well, thank you, Karl. I appreciate the time.
Thanks.